We start with the topographical survey that's been supplied by the client. For the purpose of this demo, we've frozen the layers that are going to make the drawing messy and will make it a bit more difficult for you to plot the trees. So we've only left the layers on that are useful and makes the drawing much more tidy. Once Qarb has been installed in your CAD software, you'll get a new tab on your ribbons panel. We're in BricsCAD in this case. So click Qarb and then launch Qarb. This opens up a pop-up window where you set up Qarb for the first time. The first thing is to choose your north direction for your canopies. Typically, if you're using a world UCS, north will always be pointing up. If that's not the case, you could always change it in these settings. The next thing is to choose your drawing units. In this example, 1 CAD unit equals 1 metre, and you can change this to millimetres if required. To quickly check whether your drawing is in metres or millimetres, you can use the distance command by typing dist, then choose an area on your drawing that is a known distance, for instance the road, and that's 6.7 metres, so you know it's in metres. Now it's time to import from CSV. You select your tree data from your CSV file. This opens a new dialog where the tree data now appears in the new window. The headings in green are what's required as a minimum for BS 5837. So we've included this information here along with any other information you might want to include. Height, species, eastings and northing. Eastings and northings are really useful if you've done a tree survey and you have the XY coordinates, because I'll show you later how this really speeds up your workflow. Height is not necessary for BS537, but it's useful if you need to use, for instance, shadows on your plan. You can also include the species. You can also use common name or Latin name, entirely up to you. You need to match the data from your CSV files to the headings within Qarb. It doesn't matter what headings you use on your tree survey, you just need to match it with the headings in Qarb. You then click Import, which opens a new window where all your tree data is, and you can set all your preferences here. In this example, I'm going to show you how to plot, let's say, the first 15 trees on the plan. I'll choose multiple, I'll select T1, hold the shift key and T15 and click go. As you can see, this box says T1 picks them insertion point. So I pick the position of T1. Now straight on to T2, T3, T4, and so on. This section of the video is sped up, plotting trees T6 to 15. As you can see, all the trees have been plotted, T1 to T15. Now, if needed, I can make some changes to those trees. The first thing that I'm going to do though is remove the layer that shows the trees on the topographical survey. So if I go to layers, select tree trunk and tree canopy, that will tidy the drawing up and allow me to show exactly what I need to see. Now if we select tools, one thing I can do here is change the canopy style. So from straight to indents, if I click on canopy style swap, select this one for instance, and that changes the canopy. Although this does it individually in this example, I can do this for all trees at the start by changing the canopy shape in the settings. If I wanted to show the RPAs as one single area rather than individual polylines, I can choose canopy or RPA union. So I select which RPAs that are overlapping. And I can immediately show that as one single shape. Similarly, I can do the same thing with tree canopies, which is very useful for groups. As a final thing to show you in this demo, I'm going to demonstrate how to plot all the trees in one go using the coordinates. So I select plot using easting northing, but I'm going to select all trees, which highlights all the trees in grey. and click go. As you can see, this is plotting all the trees as we go along. That's 70 done. Again, I'll turn the layers off so we can just see our trees. I'll zoom to the extents of the drawing. As you can see, all 70 trees were plotted immediately. I'm now going to show you some of the options. So if you wanted to show your trees in a different way, for instance with hatches, I'll show you how that's done now. I want to show, for instance, the canopy with a hatch, the RPA with a hatch, and I want a leader. Now I'll just show you on one tree. With a leader. This shows one of the different ways that we can display our tree info on the plan.